You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
Question of the day, you guys. Should I do personal training inside my studio? And if so, what should be the owner and coach split on that? There's a lot of different answers to this question. I would say if you are finding that the ideal person that you want to serve is not reliably successful in a group setting, and there may be an opportunity to better serve them in a different setting, whether that's personal or semi-private personal training, I would say, yeah, then it makes sense to maybe start exploring that. Things to consider are the skill set of your coaches delivering those sessions, the environment those people are going to be in, and the availability you have to serve them. And then where I see there being a couple of different flavors on how to implement this is there's still gyms who are running one-on-one and semi-private personal training where essentially the coach has entire ownership over the relationship, meaning they're developing the programming, they're the ones implementing the sessions. That's how that's working. Now, the risk of running it that way is if that coach leaves, it's highly likely the client's going to leave with them. So when I first started running one-on-one and small group personal training in my gym, I ran it that way. And when I lost a few coaches, I would lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of my overall revenue that would leave with them. And so for us, we're trying to help people and serve people, but there's also a very real business risk of running a model that way. Now, another way to run it is to keep all of the programming internal to the organization. So developing different templates or progressions and regressions and exercise formats that can be tailored to the individual, but it's still in-house programming to where the coach doesn't have ownership over the programming completely, maybe some modifications. And also there is a rotation of trainers accommodating that client just based on availability. So running it that way, there's a lot more stability in your business. So if a coach ends up leaving, it's highly unlikely you're going to completely lose the client as well. So ways you can implement that. You can implement that through softwares like True Coach or Team Builder or Train Heroic or even Semi-Private Pro. Different technologies that you can look into. Now, also the biggest mistake I see with this is gyms overpaying their coaches to deliver these services. If you're following like a 4/9 model where they get a certain commission of the revenue generated from that session or from the membership in general, you start getting into hourly rates where these coaches are making more than like a physical therapist, potentially even a medical doctor, depending on how big you're making it. And to me, that is not a sufficient reason to overpay them for that, for the skill that they are displaying. You're the one that's still having to create the systems, the marketing, and even the programming to implement it. What I would suggest you doing instead is finding a way to normalize your trainer's compensation across all the different revenues or like channels that they implement coaching in. So for example, at my gym, my coach gets paid the same hourly rate, regardless of whether it's a group session, semi-private personal training, or one-on-one personal training. The benefit of that, they have stability in their income and they're not incentivized to do one over the other, right? So if I say, hey, coach, like you're running a semi-private personal training session right now to pick up for someone who's taking vacation or is unavailable, they are like, okay, cool. Well, my hourly rate is, $55 an hour. I'm still going to get paid the same rate. That's how I would typically run it. It creates more stability in the business. It creates more money for you to pay your coaches more in group training. Most people tend to pay their coaches somewhere between $25 to $45 an hour. I would just say take all that extra money you're making from semi-private and PT and push it towards paying them more in group so that you're incentivizing them to do any channel you need them to be involved in versus one or the other. Okay. So that's just a different way that you can do it. Typically you want to stay around the 4/9 model in terms of total comp. I stay somewhere like more around 40 to 42%. That makes sense for me, but the only way I can do that is take the surplus I have in my small group and push it towards the deficit I typically have in group training and allow to pay them more in that avenue. And it all kind of equals out at the end of the day. So I'm incentivizing cohesive team collaborative approach behavior versus I don't want to do group because I could be over here making more money doing one-on-one or semi-private. So just some thoughts for you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.